Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah
Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Mujiji ki jai. So Ananta couldn't be with us today, so he sent me instead. I'm the evil twin. And I will show you today how to be miserable. I know that every day you talk about other things, but my area of specialty is how to be miserable immediately. So it's a bit of a change. So how does one become completely miserable in double quick time? It's very simple. First, know that you are this body-mind. Completely. You are this body-mind who is here to fight and survive. You're a body-mind who is here to fight and survive, and the world is completely against you. And how will you fight? How will you survive? You have a special mechanism, you see. You have a special assistant. It is called the mind. So all that you're supposed to do is follow the advice of this mind, listen to everything that it is saying, and you will be able to be a victim forever. And you can blame the world forever and feel special as a result of it. The simplest way to be miserable right now is to believe every thought
Don't do that.
Mata is getting completely psyched. Psyched. Oh, Ananta will be back tomorrow and he'll. But you can make it, you see. As a person, you can make it. And one day you will be king of the world. Just keep going. Namaste. Now, should I continue like this? This is the voice of the mind. It has many, many ways to get you tempted. I am a victim. The world is against me. Nobody understands me. All of these are the symptoms of this person idea. So to become miserable actually requires all of this. But to be free requires nothing at all. And as consciousness, you can choose. As consciousness, you can choose whether you want to go with this thought stream or you just want to let it go. So who's unclear on how to become miserable? Clear? This is a good way to look at it actually. Although it might be a little strange, but it is very good to look at it like this. Because otherwise what happens is that we keep repeating the old patterns and we're saying that, oh, this is so strong, this is coming like this, why is it like this? All these stories can continue. But at least know that you are doing all of this to be miserable. It is not possible without any of this, without you doing all of this, without you choosing to believe, without you choosing to pretend. And as consciousness, as the Supreme Lord, it is completely up to you. Namaste, namaste. Now, Shakti says, Father, please say more about how it is all up to us as consciousness. So we've talked about this, isn't it? We talked about choice. And there was a question also the other day in the Sangha, which was, who is the instruction for? Who is the instruction for? Isn't the instruction for a person? Isn't the pointing for a person? No, it is not. Because we won't waste our breaths talking to something which does not exist. Will we? Doesn't make sense. If it doesn't exist, the person, then why will we waste our time talking to the person? So who has the power of belief? So when we say don't believe your next thought, we must be referring to the one who has the power of belief, isn't it? And this power of belief arises before the person idea. It's when the person idea would arise, then we already have the power to believe it. See, if the power of belief was not there, then the idea would come and go and no idea would get believed. So the power of belief is prior to any idea. But there is no power to believe anything in deep sleep state. So when does the power to believe arise? The power of belief arises when the presence I am arises. But before the concept I am a person is bought or believed. So it is consciousness itself which has the power to believe. And it says in A Course in Miracles that we refused to laugh, or we forgot to laugh at the tiny mad idea. This tiny mad idea came that I am separate, or I am a person. And for an instant we forgot to laugh. We forgot to laugh at what the comedian is saying, and we took it seriously. And everything that we are now seeing in this life, in the adventures of this life, we see from a personal perspective because we believe this one tiny mad idea of separation. So who is it that believed? It is not the person, because the person itself is the idea, isn't it? A person could not have believed the idea of personhood. There must be something which is not the person which started to give belief to this idea. So all this pointing, all of this is consciousness speaking with consciousness. A lot of what is called self-help in the world is actually ego massaging. A lot of what is called self-help is actually trying to make the ego greater. How to make use of every opportunity, you see. Like that it will say. Everything that gets you more business, more work, gets you that special relationship, you must latch on to every opportunity. That's what it says in most of these self-help books. But it is actually a manual of how to suffer more and more. How to suffer more and more. You make yourself more tired, more frustrated, because there is no one who can live up to what is spoken in those self-help books. So what it is pretending to be self-help, that actually it is trying to make the ego greater and greater. What help do you need? As consciousness, you have picked up this idea, just like you picked up a pen. Now you can throw the idea just like you can throw a pen. The problem is you feel you have invested too much in it. And you can make it work. That is what the mind is saying. You can make the life of the person work. That's why these kind of satsangs are also very frustrating sometimes. Because there is nothing here which can make the person better. Nothing here is helping the person idea. There is no return on investment to attending these satsangs for a person. Therefore, when it is said drop it, a person cannot drop the person, but you can. A lot of the neo Advaitins have this concept, you see. They have this concept that there is no choice, there is no choice. Which is true from a personal perspective. So this is what, again, I'm referring to the course often these days, I don't know why, but this is also called level confusion in the course. So to the person we are saying that you have no will, you have no choice because you don't exist. And to being we are saying that drop this person idea. It is completely up to you. And to awareness we are saying that you are untouched anyway. We cannot actually even say anything. So what is it that you are referring to yourself as? Namaste. Yes, yes. So Shakti says, but Father, most of the time it is experienced that I cannot do anything. Thoughts, feelings, etc. just come. Behavior just come. Choice doesn't make sense to me anymore. I don't want to miss what is being pointed to. This is a very good starting point. So you say all is just happening. Everything. All is just happening. Now wait for a thought to come. And a thought can be anything. Wait for it to come. And you will see that it is possible to give belief to it. It is not possible for a person, but it is possible for beingness or consciousness. And it is possible to withdraw belief from it. So none of this is being spoken to the person. So if it's a little confusing, we can stop here. But remember that we are not speaking to an idea of what you are. We are speaking of what is present right now. So the idea cannot be here now. The idea is just imagination. And a thought can arise. And we see that there is this tool called belief which can be given to it. So as beingness, you have the potential to believe or disbelieve. But there is no person who can control it. No person can decide whether belief will be given or not. You see this because it's important to see. Otherwise, what will happen is that we just follow a lot of our thoughts and just say that, oh, this is just happening all on its own. It becomes another excuse for being miserable. Who is the one who has the power to believe or not? Who do these powers belong to? The power of attention, the power of interest, the power of belief, which all leads to the power of identification. And using this power to identify, we create the personhood or the person idea. So all this is required before you can say that I am a person. As consciousness, you are all powerful. As a person, you are nothing at all. And as awareness, you are no thing. Namaste, namaste. Nitya says, Father, your new Indish looks. Indian look is an Indish look or is it childish look? Indish look is a challenge here today. Yes, yes, yes. My kids have been having so much trouble since yesterday. Look, thanks, Father. My kids shave off the mustache also. So I said, we'll see what happens. So she says, Father, your new Indish look is a challenge here today. Very Indian? Is that somewhere? Someone is looking out for Father. Yes, yes. He'll be back in a few weeks. Shakti says, I see. Thank you. This is power. Yes. That's why Bhagavan had said that the only choice you have is whether to believe your thoughts or not. Who was he referring to? He was referring to beingness. You see, so this has the potential to cause confusion. That's why I want to make it clear that when I'm saying that you have no choice in anything at all is just happening on its own, it is referring to the concept that you are a person. And when I'm saying that you are the one doer, one experiencer, one decider, we are referring to you as consciousness. And when we are saying that you're completely untouched by any appearance, we are referring to you as awareness itself. Important to remember that you cannot leave the ultimate perspective as being awareness itself. So the rest can be said to be pointings depending on what is seen from those levels, but the ultimate, the absolute, is what you always are, even unconcerned by the question of choice and no choice. See? But it must be clear, it must be from the heart that it is seen that I am pure awareness itself. You see, many Neo-Advaitins, and I don't know why I'm picking on them today, but I rarely do that. But many Neo-Advaitins, you can see that they smell completely of personhood, completely smelling of personhood, but saying, who is there to choose? Whose choice is it? The person has made that into an excuse to follow every thought, to follow arrogance, to follow greed, to follow separation. Ishani says, Dear Father, this is what I meant about choosing every time about being aligned to truth, which is a choice not of person but of consciousness. And there seems to be a refinement which keeps happening on the level of happening while nothing happens in reality. Yes. Donna says, I can cut your hair when I'm in India. I'm a hairstylist. Okay, very good. Now my wife will be very happy to hear that there is someone who can cut my hair. Because it takes a lot of pushing from her to get me out of the house to get a haircut. So Om is also here now in India. So Om will be joining us for Satsang as well. Now must be different. We used to following the Satsang on the screen. Let's have a look at his face. In her favorite chair. Sukhbir says, you want to say? You're here. So you can unmute your mic and say instead of.
Okay, if the sound is coming out clear, Namaste, Father.
It's clear. No.
Okay, so basically the thought just occurred that instead of the level confusion that, okay, we say we have the choice as consciousness to believe a thought or to not believe a thought. But now I'm not sure whether I'm confusing the levels again here, but if you choose to believe or not believe a thought, is that also part of the running of the thing? Like right now I see a thought, so I can choose to believe it or not believe it, but is that is there a deeper level behind that that determines whether I choose or not?
Yes. So this I, which wants to know whether there is a deeper level, the answer to this I is yes, because this I is the person who is asking, is there a deeper level? You see? So the deeper level is the level of consciousness itself.
Okay.
That's why we say that it is all God's will. You see, so consciousness is God. Beingness is God. So when we say it is all God's will, means it is all God's choice, it is all God's doing.
Yeah.
Then if you
From one level, I think that this question also doesn't make sense.
Huh? Go ahead.
No, I mean, because it seems like just now the question that I asked also, it's not a question that would normally be asked by beingness, because beingness doesn't care about these questions or not questions, or it's just, another thought. So the fact that I chose to even ask that question, it's the personhood that is asking that question, no? Or something
But the
like that.
person exists, you see. The thing is that the person doesn't exist. So the beingness itself is playing the role of personhood and plays like this. So what has happened is that because it didn't laugh at the tiny mad idea of separation, it started believing that it is a person. So when we say that I became a person, we are referring to just consciousness believing in the idea of being a person. That's all that happened. Just an idea got believed. And then we start playing the role. So suppose I tell you, Sukhbir, I'm making a new movie and you have to play the role of James Bond. So then you show up for the shoot and I say, okay, now just play the role of James Bond. So you forget for a minute. So you as Sukhbir forgot that you are not Sukhbir. I mean, you are Sukhbir and you thought that you are James Bond. So you start behaving like Bond, you get all the mannerisms, you get all the actions that Bond will do. So this is what happened. So consciousness started believing that it is a person and now started playing the role of a person. Yeah? But consciousness is all that is appearing. So consciousness also knows that all this has happened. So consciousness then creates a part of itself to come and say, okay, you are not this. So in the shooting of the James Bond movie itself, there's a character who is saying, you're Sukhbir. You're not James Bond. You're Sukhbir, you see. So that is the conversation that is happening in Satsang. You say, no, 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 I'm James Bond. I'm James Bond. Don't worry, we'll finish our mission. And the voice will come and say, there is no mission. You're Sukhbir, wake up, wake out of this. No, no, I'm almost at the end. I've got the villain. No, but you're not James Bond. It's like that. All part of the same movie which consciousness itself is playing out. Hmm? The question which you might be asking is, but what's the point of all of this? What is the point? Why is beingness doing like this? That's why I say that to joke and say that it must be all for entertainment, which is the meaning of the Leela. If you're all there is, you have to have something to entertain yourself. So boring being all there is. So you can say it is for Leela. There are many different explanations. You can pick the one you like the most. Ultimately, all of them are not true. So if you like the explanation that we are here to experience love or to transcend all that is false, you can take any explanation. But ultimately, you will come to the insight that none of this has ever actually happened, which is a bit out there for the mind, I realize. But it will be clear inside for you that none of this has ever actually happened. Therefore, to say that why is all this happening is also not relevant. You see? But for now, we can say that it is all for your own entertainment. We can take the Leela definition. Or if you like the love definition, you can say only in the presence of being can there be this love experience. That's where being is playing out like this. So much. Jaini says, so Mujiji's pointing, stay at the presence, is the same as our pointing, don't believe your next thought. So when we say stay at the presence, we stay with the sense that I am. And what can pull us out of this? The distraction can be in the form of a thought, isn't it? Saying that, hey, you better check your email or better something. It can come like this. And when we believe, then we pick on the person identity and our attention goes away from presence into the content of the thought. So it is the same. Why I always try to make it very simple is because if I tell you, just stay with the sense I am, just stay with the sense I am, you will come back tomorrow and you will say, hey, I managed it for an hour, but then lots of things came, strong things came, and I wasn't able to stay. So I feel that I lost something or I became a person. That's why I felt that there's a need to make it even simpler and say, right now, just don't believe your next thought. It gets us to the same point. Bhavani says, dear Father, I did follow your pointing of not believing the thoughts, and it has helped me shift the attention, and it has given me a sense of peace. I was able to connect with Ram, and he helped me see my real self, and I have been abiding in that. Very good. This Sangha, I tell you, very soon I can retire. Imagine me going to Mujiji and saying, Mujiji, I'm retiring. And he's like, I'm still here, I'm still doing satsang, and you are retiring. It's very good, very good. It says, so keep quiet and staying as beingness. just makes it impossible to go even with attention. Yes, you cannot be with beingness and go with your content of your thoughts at the same time. It's completely possible for you as consciousness to just keep the attention or to give it to the next thought which is coming up. You have no limits as beingness. What trouble can there be when we're not believing our next thought? It's just this simple. Just this simple. Now, sometimes I forget I'm supposed to speak.
Hey, Ananta, it's Mike.
Namaste, Mike.
Namaste, how are you?
Very good, very good.
Maybe my turn to speak for a little while, give you a break.
Yes.
Not sure that I have a question, but I think I just feel the need to feel a little closer to you at the moment. Maybe the theme for me is resistance. I feel a lot of resistance, and I I feel I know the answer. I feel I know which direction you might point me in, but I guess I'm kind of doing it pretty tough at the moment. Lots of thoughts, and at times life feels a bit overwhelming, I guess. And I try to remember you. I try to remember my mantra for keeping my head clear, but you know, at a time coming up to my birthday and to Christmas, it should be a joyous time, and I'm probably struggling a little at the moment, and things that have worked so well for me and things that have seemed quite simple to me for a little while now, all of a sudden I can feel it inside. I feel resistance. At times I feel anger, and I have a lot of difficulty, I don't know, just trying to keep all that at bay and to get by, you know.
You must not also try to predict how any time is going to be. You see, because I see more people depressed around the holidays than I see at any other time of the year. Because there is this additional pressure that you must be joyous, you see. This is the season to be jolly. And it's more, it becomes a vicious circle. So some feeling comes which is not jolly, then you're saying, no, this is the season to be jolly. Try to push it away. And that causes this resistance which we are speaking of. So let whatever is arising, do you see that you play a role in deciding what is arising? It is just arising, isn't it? Of course, the ego will come in and try to say that it is because you are like this, that is why this feeling of anger is coming, it is because you are this certain way, that's why these thoughts are coming, but this is not true. They are just arising. In this moment, a strong thought can arise that I don't want satsang anymore. It could be like that, you see. In an instant, you're gone. If you believe that thought. But if you just believe that it is just arising and it will pass, that is the meaning of no resistance. It is not that something should not arise. Non-resistance does not mean that we get to pick what is arising. Openness only means that we just let it come and we let it go. But if we keep getting involved in it, and sometimes we make a battle out of it, especially in festival seasons, we make a battle out of it that you now must go. Anger must go because it is Christmas. Anger won't listen to you. It will never listen to you. It will say gotcha. Actually, it will say gotcha. It will say, okay, what do you want?
ఆ టైంలో అమ్మ మాట్లాడేది నిద్ర నైట్ షిఫ్ట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు పడుకొని ఉంటాడా
Sorry, there was some disturbance. So, when we get engaged with these feelings, when we get into a Mahabharata, we get into a battle with these feelings, that is when they must be celebrating actually. The ego must be celebrating. It becomes festival time for the ego again. Whatever is arising, let it arise. If you can just look at how it is touching you. Who is the sufferer of these emotions? Is there such an entity at all? We have just presumed that there must be. When Guruji was speaking about this yesterday, isn't it? Last night he said that we just feel that because we feel a certain way, therefore there must be an entity which is feeling it. But it is not true. So don't judge anything which is coming up, even if it's anger, any other emotion, grief. Just let it come up and let it go. And know that you had nothing to do with the creation of these. Just like you cannot create your next thought, you are not creating these emotions. Sometimes I feel we give ourselves too much credit. We feel we are too much in control. That I control my thoughts, I control my emotions. All this is not true. And in this belief that I must be able to control this, then it becomes more troublesome.
I think
For
that is a
somebody,
mistake. I think that's a mistake I'm making. I'd forgotten but what you said about watching the thought arise and letting it pass, versus what I'm doing at the moment, which is trying to control. I'm trying to control the situation, control myself, and yeah, it's not working.
yeah. And especially for some of you who are in leadership sort of roles, you're being conditioned to control. You're being conditioned to control the environment. You're being conditioned to control your team. You see, it can become like this. Become a little strange when somebody says, "Don't try to control what is coming up. Don't try to control your thoughts. Don't try to control your emotions." And it becomes tougher also sometimes when you've been in satsang for a while. Then you have these presumptions, you see, that now I cannot feel this way. I will not feel sad or I will not get upset. All these presumptions will come. And then as it is meant to be this way, it will find that whatever is still meant here, it will come up. And then it again becomes a vicious circle. Oh, I thought I got it. Maybe satsang is not really working for me. Maybe I need to change back into what I was doing earlier. Something like that. You see? We must not it's about the now. It's about the right now. We must not presume what must happen or what will not happen. All these things all these are forms of resistance. So your question was about resistance. Resistance means trying to argue with what is. What is just is. Not accepting what is resistance. So anger is. Just is. Thoughts are, they just are. But if you get involved, if you get engaged, if you believe that they should not be, then that is resistance. It is not resistance just because anger is coming up. Anger can come up, but don't buy an interpretation about it. Don't believe that you lost something or something happened. It is very good, you see. All these things are very good because this is when the rubber actually hits the road. Otherwise, we can keep talking about spirituality, we can use big fancy words, but all those things are not of much value to me. What I like is somebody sent me a message yesterday. What is it? I really enjoy reading that. Somebody knows that here somebody said very practically that because of your teaching, I have been able to let go of these strong issues which were really strong and would bother me, but just now it just seemed as coming and going. That itself is just so beautiful. They did not say, oh, now I am consciousness itself, or I figured out that my true nature is awareness. Not like that. There's something about my relationship with my mother is much better because I'm much more accepting. I'm not judging her, I'm not resisting her. Just simply like that. It's very beautiful. So we're not trying to make somebody who knows a lot out of you. We're trying to just get you to a point where you lose the ability to suffer. Your habit becomes from suffering, habit becomes non-suffering. Habit becomes from going to belief in thought automatically to disbelief in thought automatically. So even when strong feelings are arising, you just don't believe a thought about it. Don't say it is Christmas and all that because that will get you in trouble, you see.
I got to go shopping tomorrow.
Things will happen. The body will do all the actions which are supposed to happen. You don't feel that nothing. It is not Christmas for consciousness. For consciousness, it is always Christmas. This is Christ actually. Consciousness is Christ. And you are in the presence of this consciousness. So it is always Christmas.
But through it all, I felt the need, the desire to connect a little more closely with you. So thank you for letting me talk to you today.
Very good. I'm very happy you came up. Very good. Oh, I love you too.
When suffering is justified, I can get to see one moment.
This is love, you see. There was some sharing yesterday about Om being the only participant in the online. Initially, when we used to have these satsangs, there was no online facility at all. And he sort of pushed me into connecting on Skype and things because there was no inclination here to connect online and also share. Also, there was this feeling who will want to come and hear what is being said here. You see. This one said, no, no, let's see if we can connect. And he would tell all of them. He would tell Ram, Jyotika, Bhakti, that make sure you connect to Skype when you get there. It's been about a year since we had. Yesterday there was some sharing that it's been a year since we had the satsang with this. He says,
Hey, you all should come here. I don't know if Louis is laughing or crying.
simplicity of just being here. Being here does not mean being here physically, being here even in satsang like this. Just being here. Don't give any relevance to the past. Just be like the fish who has only 3-second memory. Forget your stories. It's very beautiful, isn't it? To be without a story. The couple wants to be on the hot seat. Yes, very good. So one of us can volunteer to leave. Zoe, okay, Zoe and Mike, thank you so much, beloveds. Thank you so much. Once we were sitting in Satsang in Thiru, and one of the Sangha members, she started yelling and screaming and crying and all these things happening. So somebody who was new to Satsang asked Mojiji, what's happening? And he said, grace. Grace is happening. So we can call it a grace attack. Only in Satsang do you have the freedom to just let go and just let everything that is coming up come up and go. That's saying that you don't have to try and be prim and proper, you don't have to try and be anything at all. Grace is taking care of everything. Grace has got you here. The one that has got you here knows what to do next. Okay, Kapil is here, so let's hear from Kapil.
Hello. Am I
Hello.
right? Can you see me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so my heart is beating very fast right now, and there's this nervousness. Since the satsang started, there was this feeling of coming onto the hot seat, but this voice said, the webcam is not very clear, or wait for somebody to vacate on their own. No, it's not the right time. Wait. So I felt this is the best moment then.
Yes.
I don't have a question, but yeah, there's this nervousness which is still there, and I still see the one who wants to get enlightened, the one who wants to get it.
Where is it? Where is it? You see it. We say you see it. So let's catch it now. Where is it?
I can't locate it now.
As what? When you say I see it, As what is it seen?
As a voice in the head, as a desire.
There's a difference between the voice and the voice becoming a desire, you see. The voice is just energy. The voice is just thought. For it to become a desire, it must have your belief. It is just another thought. Coming and going. In a day, actually, you could have many thoughts. But all of them don't become desires. Otherwise, you would all be crazy by now. Only the special ones which have some meaning for you, which you say, okay, yes, this one, I want this one. Then it becomes a desire. It's good to see that it is not automatic. It is not automatic. It gets your belief. Without your belief, it is not a desire. But then you say, okay, it is the voice. Is there any other attribute of this one except the voice?
I mean, I can see that I've given it my belief in the sense, before this satsang, everywhere whenever I heard about the word enlightenment, my understanding was that the person gets enlightened.
Yes.
So that is. So I mean, I feel that is how it became a desire again, something to be achieved, something to get. So yeah, and it has been some time. It has been probably 2-3 years maybe. And I've been trying to chase enlightenment in some way or the other. So yeah, I think that is how it became the desire.
Now you see clearly that because there is no person that exists, or at best it is just seen to be these energies which come and go. These energies cannot get enlightenment. A thought or an idea cannot get enlightenment. What would be that meaning? What would be the meaning of enlightenment for an idea? It has no meaning. So what remains once it is seen that I am not these thoughts, not these ideas, then what remains?
Just me, if I can call it just me. But I cannot define this me.
You say that the me remains. How do you know that the me remains? Is it a feeling of me or what is it? We lost him. Namaste, Dr. Kanchan and Vasundhara. Welcome. Very good. Sometimes it can play out like this.
Just at the right question.
The right point. The same guy will come up and probably cut off the internet line somewhere. See, all kinds of resistances can come to prevent you from coming into satsang, to try and prevent you from coming onto the hot seat. But your love for me is stronger now. And because your love for me is stronger than these resistances, sooner or later, we will catch this one at the hot seat or otherwise. We will catch it and we will tell it to hit the road. It cannot last. can be very strong. Maybe I stopped realizing how strong it is like that because it has become like a daily thing for me to speak like this. It can be very strong, not just from the satsang perspective, but just speaking in front of people. It can bring out a lot of our tendencies, which have been the tendency to hide, the tendency to just not be visible. It can bring up all of this. Suddenly, then we feel that, oh, everyone is looking at me, and this better be good. Couple is back. It also feels like, oh, I asked to be on the hot seat and somebody left for me, so it better be good now. Don't have to put that kind of pressure onto yourself. Don't have to put that kind of pressure. Yes, Kapil is back.
Yeah, hi. I lost you on the me part.
Yes. We said that there is this me, which is seen. So I was asking whether it is seen as a feeling. What is an attribute of this me?
I cannot define. I'm not able to define. It's just me here. I mean, I'm here. All I can say is I'm here.
With your eyes, I can see that you're thinking to find the answer. What I want you to do is not think to find the answer, but to just look to find the answer. Yeah? Don't try to think of the answer. Just
Yeah,
look.
it's simpler actually.
Yes, just look and see. It's much simpler. You see, there's a feeling that there is me. Me is here.
Yeah, it's much simpler.
So then, can you see where is this me? Where is the sense of me?
Yeah, it's me. I mean, I'm still here, and by here, it's not just this body or this room. I mean, it's a very simpler being here.
Very good. And who is aware of this me also?
And that also
Mind
must be
will
me
say,
only.
yeah, no, the mind will say all kinds of things. Just don't be in a rush. Take your time. You say that the presence is here. It doesn't matter. It's not about whether here in this room. It's just here. And who is aware of even this presence?
It's me only. I mean, I'm not sure if I can say anything except me. I mean, it's simpler. I see it's simpler, and I see it's me. I see I am here. I mean, yeah, I am. I mean, I am.
So, okay, let's slow it down really slow. So there is one who is aware of your thoughts.
Hmm.
There is one who is aware of your thoughts. Same one is aware of your same one also sees that there is a presence here of I amness. This witnessing, does it have any phenomenal existence? Does it even, can you say even it is a presence? The witnessing which knows that there is a thought, or there is an emotion, or there is a presence. Can you say anything at all about this witnessing?
Um, when you say witnessing, I mean, it feels like a knowing. I just know I'm here, and but to be honest, I mean, it seems as of now, it seems something very faint, and something in the background.
Okay, so let's maybe
It
all of us
seems
can just
the
Maybe all of us can do a simple exercise. Just a simple exercise. So most of us have computers in front of us, isn't it? So there is a witnessing of this computer. There is a witnessing of all of this which is happening in front of our eyes. Just say that this witnessing of all that is happening in front of your eyes. Don't feel that something should happen or something special will be seen. Nothing. Just be simple witnessing of what is appearing in front of our eyes. Then we can gently close our eyes and we notice that this witnessing is there. The objects are not there now. The witnessing is there. Objects are not there. The objects change. The objects become more like thoughts, or memories, or emotions. The objects go from these seemingly external objects to seemingly internal objects. Just mute you for a minute. So you'll notice that the same witnessing which witnessed the external objects is now witnessing these internal objects of thoughts, memories, imagination. The witnessing of the sounds is here. The objects are unaware of the witnessing. It is the witnessing which is aware of these objects. Now the witnessing stays the same, but what is being witnessed is the presence I am, the feeling that I exist, not the thought that I am, but the sensation or the feeling of presence. And yet the witnessing stays the same. It is the same witnessing which is aware of external objects, then internal objects like thoughts, and now even of the presence of being, of existence. See if there's any distance between you and this witnessing. What is this witnessing? Does the witnessing come and go, or is it always here? Is it touched by anything which comes and goes? Is there somebody to which it belongs? Does it need effort to find? What can you do to lose this witnessing? How can you stop it? This pure awareness is you. We can open our eyes when we want to. So nothing is going to happen. With this discovery, nothing will change. The awareness has always been this awareness. It relies on no thoughts, it relies on no emotion. It just is. The presence of the me can arise in the waking state. The presence I am can arise in the waking state and will dissolve in the sleep state. But there must be a witnessing to be able to say that I fell asleep and I am now awake. So no states make a difference to this witnessing. It is only the appearances which keep changing. And you're never in the appearance. All appearances can arise from you, but you cannot just be an appearance. There is a subject-object relationship. You're always the subject and not the object. Who is aware of all of this? Who is aware? And don't rely on any thoughts for the answer. The mind cannot help you here. So it cannot be relied on. So we can contemplate this a little bit more, and I'll be happy if you can come back on the hot seat and we can look at it again. Yeah, Prakash had this message. He said, "You are all talking to our consciousness, not to our mind. We are all listening to you with mind, interpreting our own way. How can we meet? We know it." So first, just drop the we. Just drop the we. Because we makes it seem like a collective. But actually it is only about you. It is only about you. So how can you and I meet? We are like a kid, you say, if though mother is beating us, but still find refuge at mother. Where else can we go? So that was the first part. And then he posted Claudio's question, how to stay with the seer. So this one we already looked at. So just for Prakash, I want to say just be in satsang and just let this marinate. Let the satsang marinate in your heart. Don't be in too much of a rush to share. Don't be in too much of a rush to share. I know this impulse can come that something has been found, so let me go and share it with everyone. But there will be enough time for that. You let the process of cooking complete itself first before you serve the dinner. So just go within, contemplate the inquiry, who am I? And come with the irrefutable conclusion. And then when I see this clarity in your heart, then you are free to share. Otherwise, sharing can also become a distraction. Sometimes Facebook itself can become a very big distraction. So don't let the mind use any of this as distraction. You stay in satsang, you stay with the inquiry, and then when the clarity is clear, then doesn't matter whether you are sharing or not sharing, speaking or not speaking, it is all part of the quiet. You will not be disturbed. Kapil, you'd like to say something before we close satsang today?
Hi, is my voice audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. In the contemplation that you just told us to do, um, here it seems there is the one who's got it intellectually, and it 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 wants to. It's in a rush to give answers. and even it seems the answer that it is giving is not completely honest, because I've been in satsang for some time, so the main pointings I've heard them many times. So something here has recorded them in a way. So when you say look now, it just it's in a way it doesn't allow me to look now. It just gives the answer. It's ready with the answer.
This mind can play the trick
Yeah,
like this.
I mean, what can I do about it?
Okay, just don't believe. Enough. If you feel that there's something major to be done to free yourself from this mind, it becomes a needless project for ourselves.
Hmm.
If you're not believing, so sometimes it can be that because we've heard about some concepts and these concepts have been nourished in the past, then it seems like belief goes easier to some of these concepts of enlightenment or freedom or something like that. See, and the mind will say, but I know what it looks like. You have to just be steady and don't give it your belief. Just say, आगे बढ़ो, आगे बढ़ो, आगे बढ़ो. Don't give it a place to sit down also and talk to. And this play will go on for some time, where something you just end up buying, then you don't beat yourself up about it. Don't say I did it again or all of this. None of this is required. Just fresh. Every moment, just fresh. Don't believe your next one. It's as simple as that.
I also wanted to expose something.
Yes.
This one is scared of Ananta asking me the question, "Who are you? Who is the one talking?"
It's very natural. It's very
And it has
natural.
already prepared an answer. And it has prepared an intellectual answer. I don't know, so that I don't get caught.
I will not leave you that easily. Don't worry. It's good for now. Just, just don't be in a rush of any sort, because it is, all these different tendencies. Don't plan, don't strategize. Just don't believe these. And if there's still this, I feel that this seeker identity still gets some belief from you. How will I manage the situation? How will I manage my spiritual journey? How can I get there? All this not required. Just let it go. Completely fresh. And the mind will say, but it doesn't happen. Don't believe this also. The mind will say, but others seem to get it, but I've been to so many satsang now, I'm still not getting it. Don't believe this also.
Yeah.
Everybody is full of so much love. Don't believe this also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all of this is here.
Don't believe any of these thoughts. And don't presume you know what another is feeling. Don't presume that. Because it unnecessarily creates all sorts of peer pressure, all sorts of feelings of, unworthiness or something. It is all for you. All of this is for you. So that you can transcend all of these egoic thoughts will be all transcended, and you will see that it was all for me, it was all for my own play. I made this game for myself to play. So just one simple rule we have for everyone, just continue to be in satsang and all will be sorted out. If there's a sense that I want to hide, I don't want to show up again, then look at that sense and try to find out who is saying all of this. And if it is not me who is saying all of this, then why am I listening to it? If it's just another energy, then why am I giving it so much power? There's nowhere to
Thank
go.
you. Thank
There is
you.
nowhere to go, nothing to get. Your mind will say, but you still haven't got it. You see, you came on the hot seat, but you didn't get it. It's not true. Because there is nothing to get. You cannot become this mind, and you cannot be what you are. You're always there. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also wanted to take 5 minutes today to discuss some practical aspects of these satsangs. So you're free to stay or you're free to leave. If it's not of interest to you, we're going to talk about some organizational aspects of the satsangs and the platforms. Rizal is here. So today what we changed, I know some of you must have noticed, is that because there was a feeling that if we announce the hangout link very early, then it gets filled in very quickly, and there was this feeling that some people who are always there early seem to get in, but others don't seem to get in early. So we tried this experiment today where we said we'll post the hangout link only 10 minutes before the actual satsang start, and that's what we did. So is that better? Does that work, or do the concerns still are they still there, or what's? I really wanted to just get some feedback from everyone.
Father, most of the people who have concerns about the links are not here to give you their feedback. So it's most of the feedback comes on the chat.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if it's better for them or not.
Louise was there for most of the time today, so we can check with her also. So
Yes.
Louise was one, and who else was giving some feedback on the chat? We can check.
Well, I think Amaya was speaking about some people feeling invisible, and that they really enjoyed having, having a very sort of social chat with you on Ustream, and that you saw all the messages. And there was a feeling that some of them were invisible when they watched from the back end.
Can I say something, Father?
Yes, yes.
I deliberately stayed out today because there was a feeling like I had been in the hangout so many days because there was such a strong pull to be in the hangout, and then a kind of a subsequent feeling of it may be not fair for others who want to come in. But it's amazing how then a space opened on app later on. So I don't know, maybe just for people to be mindful of, there were it seemed like there were new faces today that maybe don't always get in. So if you are there quite regularly, maybe to hold back a little bit before coming in and give others a little bit of a chance. I don't know what you think about that, Father.
Actually, for me, it was very strange because initially I remember when Lizal and I discussed, we said that we cannot be sharing the link very openly right to start with because then it'll get filled up very quickly. And next day there was hardly anybody there. So I felt, okay, maybe I'm overestimating the need to be in the Hangout. So maybe we can just start sharing openly. So when I heard that, oh, we're all trying to get in, but we're not able to get in, I was like, wow, when? You know? So for me, it did not really appear to be a problem till it was brought up like this. So right now we are discussing two separate issues, isn't it? One is how to make availability fair and natural for everyone. So I felt that this 10-minute thing could do that so that it's not undue advantage to somebody who doesn't have work or somebody who's just there and clicking. Although, I mean, that's also up for discussion. I'm okay to discuss that also. The feeling of invisibility, actually, I don't know whether it's a bug or a feature. I feel also that it could be a feature sometimes. Because you're there and you're listening and there's no feeling that, okay, I want to be seen by Ananta, I want to be seen in the Hangout, and I want to be seen as the audience. So to watch invisibly also is very beautiful. I don't see any harm in that. And I think Lizal and the other moderators have been doing a very good job of posting whatever messages we get in the application. If you want, instead of the chat, I can keep the Q&A application open directly so that I can see the question and answers directly, the questions which are posted directly instead of having to wait for it to be posted. Even that is fine by me. But I don't feel that invisibility is such a concern, especially because we want to make it open to everyone to join the Hangout anyway. And there are very few who have some technical difficulties who are not able to do that, but I'm sure even those will get sorted out fairly quickly. So I feel that it is an invisibility mostly by choice, isn't it? We want to be outside because we want that freedom to just not be in the Hangout and watch just comfortably. That's completely fine. I don't see that that is so much of a concern. But I feel that I just wanted to know what your feeling was from today, whether this 10-minute thing works better or it's okay to just post it and then if people really want to get in, let them log in earlier. It's like a queuing system, right? So the question is between a traditional queuing system where you can come and stand at 4 a.m. and if you want to be first and be ready, or you want to just come in at your own time and take a chance on whether there's place or not.
Louise is on her way back in, Father.
Okay, good. And I saw a pop-up appear on top of Anandi's head.
Yes, that's what she said. There's a chat message from her.
That's so cool. That's the first time I'm seeing that.
Yeah, it's a new feature they've put in.
Okay. That's a new feature. It's very interesting. So she said that her feeling was that we should post the link earlier. And you want to share some more about why?
Namaste, Father.
No,
It just felt like it filled up really quickly
okay.
when the 10 minutes came, and everyone just sort of piled in. So I don't know. I'm also indifferent to it. I'm just open, but that's pretty much it. I just felt like it was nice when it was posted earlier to just have a little more space and people slowly came in.
Yes, but also, did you have trouble then getting in when it was posted earlier?
No, not if I went in 15 minutes ahead of time. It was usually, my experience was, it was if I tried to go in right at the time that it was starting, then it might already be full. But if I went in a little early, then it was usually okay.
But that what could happen there is that it used to happen with Muji Satsang in Thiru also. When the hall was small, that people would start queuing up earlier and earlier and earlier. So either we say it is okay for now and leave it till it becomes really that people are waiting like 1 hour before satsang starts, and we make that change, or we do it now and see. Maybe we ask Louise also and see what her feeling is.
That makes sense, because as I could see that happening too as it grows.
Okay. Very good. I'm just trying to catch up with all the chat which is being posted as well. So Amaya says that mine was more of an exposing and releasing. Yes, that's the feeling I got. So it wasn't a complaint. Yes. Nice. Okay, so Louise can speak a little bit, if possible, about whether this 10-minute thing is better, or do you think that the older way was?
Hi, Father.
Hello, my dear.
Hi. I got massive issues with this. I don't know why. I'm having huge issues with this whole hangout thing.
That's also satsang, is it? I can see that it's a strong satsang for all of us, unexpectedly. It seems to have become very strong satsang. Very good. Because what is coming up is not just about satsang and hangout. It's about, must be something also about what is fair, what is not fair, what is right, what is not right. You know, it's a lot of these things get mixed up into all of this. It is never just about the thing.
Yeah. That's what's coming up. The fairness thing's coming up for me. And like, it wasn't worrying me in the beginning, but I don't know, the last week I'm just so angry about the whole thing. Just like,
Yeah. So what is your preference? Do you prefer the 10-minute thing, or you prefer the older way?
It's just the same. Now everyone's just rushing a bit quicker, I think. It's just the same as it was before. But now everyone's sort of just starting from 5 minutes instead of it's getting longer, you know. I just feel like...
Yes, what I felt was okay about this is that everybody gets it like 10 minutes before the satsang starts, and then it is up to whatever is deciding as to who decides it. But then it's up to, we can say, the technology gods or God himself or whatever.
Yeah,
there
internet speed.
There's no feeling that, oh, this one can come and wait 1 hour early, but I have some work, so I can't come. Something like that. So that element of reserving sort of places goes away in this one. That is the only benefit of it.
Yeah.
But earlier what we used to do, so what Mojiji did once was, in Thiru when the hall was small, what he did is that he would make everybody sit in random queues, in different queues with different lines, and Lizal will remember this. So what would happen is that just before the entry would open, then you would pick lots. I think number 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole queue, it doesn't matter when you came, but randomly, like the universe decides where you get to sit. So it becomes like that. That is another option which we could look at as well. Actually,
one silent retreat. I pulled queue number 1 every satsang.
Really? Wow.
I don't know, Father.
Okay, Louise, just stay so that we can, if you have time, just stay for a while as well, that we can sort it. But Lizal is looking really troubled by her. Really
I'm not troubled. I feel like it's a symptom of humans that they think they can control things, and the more like talk about control, I feel like it's. I just feel like it's control, and yeah. I don't believe that having the link 15 minutes before or half a day before is any fairer. So if the issue for Lou is about fairness, then that won't solve it for her, because It's just when the link is shared, the link is still shared to 100 people. So I feel like whether those 100 people all try and jump in 15 minutes before, or some of them queue a half an hour before, I'm not sure that actually makes a huge difference in fairness. I think what Lou is talking about is a system where this day some people are allowed in and others not. And I don't know how we're going to control a system like that when we're not a close, tightly knit, honorable satsang anymore. When we're a sangha of public people, like 1,000 people, how are we going to control who comes in and who doesn't come in? It's control.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yes.
This is how I feel about it. It just feels like I feel my desire to be here is the same for everyone. Like it feels like compassion for me. It feels like I'm not special. Everyone feels the same way. So it feels for me like I feel that I know others are feeling this. It's not something I have to think about. If this is what I feel, we're all feeling this the same way. So it feels like I want to give everyone the same opportunity, you know. So if the same people are in the hangout every day, it doesn't seem fair. That's all. That's all the fairness thing is about.
Very good. So the question then is that if we say that the problem is that it happens to be the same people in satsang every day. But now if you're posting the link only 10 minutes before that, then everybody has the equal opportunity to click, isn't it? Then it must be completely random who's able to get through or not.
Yeah. But for example, I don't try every day. Just out of courtesy for others, I don't try to get in every day. I think that's something that we could do. I don't know. That seems like common sense to me.
It can be like that, but also it can be that for some, the feeling to be in the hot seat or feeling to be in the front row is so strong, you say, okay, I will try. It can be like that. And also there are so many people that the link is going to now, you won't be able to manage it that way. We can do some simple things. For example, we can say that if you were there the previous time, please don't click today.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Something like
saying.
that.
Every second day or something, can we, that seems fair.
See, first, what all of you have to realize is that it did not even occur to me that it's a scarcity problem. That's why I kept encouraging everyone to come to the hot seat, to come into the hangout as well. I felt that there was no scarcity yet of these. But now that I know that there is some scarcity, we'll try and figure out the way. But I feel that it's sort of, it's become more satsang than it is meant to. It's become stronger satsang than just the issue is. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't actually. Sorry.
Okay. What I mean is that it's just something which is happening. It's just happening like this, and it's a new system that we are trying. So it doesn't have to become like very strong. All these now this is so unfair or something like that. You can also contemplate and say that is that the intent? Is the intent to be unfair, or just played out like this because we moved to a new platform? And when we feel that it is not my intent to be unfair, then we can say that okay, here's what I'm feeling is happening, and maybe if we could just do this alternate or something like that, then it would sort the issue.
Father, I didn't hear any of that because there's background noise. So
That's okay.
it's just playing out to annoy me, so I'm just going to leave it and just let it do its job.
Okay, there's a chat. Let me go back to the chat message as well. So we can, if we're still broadcasting, we can end the broadcast, but I'm presuming we are not. You're on mute, my dear. You're on mute. Lizal, you're on mute. We can't hear you. I see that your lips are moving.
I said I posted a comment from Amaya, who is watching on the outside and constantly posting. So maybe it's good if she hears your answer, then I'll stop it.
All right. Okay. Amaya said, something about the silent chat. Okay. Then yes. It's fine, my dear. I think it's completely fine. So there are some changes, you see. There are some changes from how it used to be in Ustream versus how it is now. But from my perspective, I can tell you that this seems a lot more powerful. It seems a lot more interactive, even if you're watching from outside. Because otherwise, what was happening in the past was just this monologue, you see, just this monologue. Now you get to see the reactions, you get to see what impact satsang is having on the ones that are saying here, which I feel would be stronger. Of course, there's some change where you don't feel as free to to just type out on chat, but I feel that we can look at. Maybe I can just go to the question and answers application directly and just read what everybody is saying. I'm completely fine with that. So I feel that if that is the issue, that it felt like it was more participative for the ones, for everyone, and you could just type out in the chat what was coming up, then that is a smaller problem. I feel that we can fix that very, very easily. I don't think that is so much of an issue.
Maybe that is also sort of.
And Nick said, so there doesn't have to be possessiveness about just appearing on the screen in a box. I don't feel it is that. I don't feel it is that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this feeling that somehow I'm just not able to get in. You see, it can be frustrating sometimes, especially when it feels like I want to be there. And if it happens over a period of a few days, it can happen. So we're just trying to figure out, and that's what I was saying, that we must not make it something bigger than what it is. It is simply an allocation issue, that how do we allocate fairly so that everyone has a chance to participate. So Lizal was saying earlier that it does not change the fairness of it or anything because you just post the link earlier. So I just want to look into that a little bit more. So part of the unfairness which I got from Louise's messages was, the feeling of unfairness which I got from Louise's messages was that she feels that people just, I tried once 15 minutes before time and still it was full, I was not able to get in. That means people just come in very early and sit in the queue. So what if we were to just do it a few minutes before the satsang, so that queuing up thing doesn't cause that unfairness and gives everybody the equal opportunity to click. 10 minutes before satsang, I feel is fair for me to also expect everyone to be there. Actually, I never enforce these kind of rules, but there is maybe a time to start enforcing some of this, because in Mujiji satsang, for example, you cannot enter after Mujiji is there. You just cannot come. So maybe it is time to look at some of these. So maybe it is fair to expect everyone to try 10 minutes before time and click. And if you still feel it's unfair and you're not able to get in, then maybe what we can do is we can alternate. So if you were there the previous day, then you don't come in the next day, something like that. I feel that should be enough. And if it grows more and more and more, then we can have some system where you're there the previous week, then you cannot be there the next week or something like that. While keeping in mind that if somebody has something burning, something strong, they should always have the opportunity to come in and share that I have something strong to say, so could you please make some room? You must remember that all of this is also nothing actually. It can seem like it is something. But it is very good that it happened like this, so it shows us, okay, if this comes up, then there is still something that gets pushed here, some button that gets pushed here. This is how it is satsang for all of us. For me, what comes up also, maybe it's satsang for me, is that if I see any of you upset or crying, then I feel like I just, it just does not feel good. It's like one of my children is just upset with me. So that is satsang for me, and satsang continues. We should have a way in which we can share things, we can share amongst each other without it seeming like accusatory or seeming like any of this. We were just saying the other day how beautiful the Sangha is, isn't it?
Lift your arms. It's getting a bit hot now.
Father, can I say something?
Yes, my dear, please go ahead.
Okay.